Happy National Women's Month. Stay tuned as we talk about the series that I have for the month of March. We are going to be so consistent this month. I can smell it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching all my series on here. I still want to see if I want to do maybe a series a month, or maybe introduce the series and then like do like one off every episode here and there. But definitely this month's series, we are talking about International Women's Month. And today I'm going to be telling you about what it is if you're not aware of it. And then I'm going to be introducing a couple of the other topics I have. We are going to grow together, probably cry together. There's a lot of truths that I have on here that I have to say, even though I don't want to hurt your mind feelings. So be prepared. Anyway, so first things first, what is NWM? So NWM is National Women's Month. So this started in March of 1978. This is celebrated in the US, the UK, and of course Australia. And then this is basically just this is the month to highlight your favorite gal pals, favorite women, and what they've done and what they've contributed to society. It's always been a thing that has been here in the background, but we really never celebrated before. I'll talk about the colors. I'm wearing one of them, but I really love the fact that we have a month, even though we should have all year, but I'm biased. But definitely for sure. I don't know if it's an actual, I've had jobs where I've been at where they've actually sat down and highlighted every woman for National Women's Month. So I thought that was at the company, it was really, really fire and dope that they did that, just the contributions here and there from women. So if you have anybody, tell them congrats today. All right. So we're going to start with the color. So coming in at number white. So this color, white. So the colors I'll be going through, and I'll just say like a little example of each one. So this one is going to be white. White is for purity. Now, I saw that it meant purity and I cringed. I saw that because I was like, like I promise you, not for nothing. I saw it and I was just like, oh, it's for purity, perfect. Like I promise you, I could put this on my everything. I cringe for both of us. I cringe for both of us because I was like, what do you mean it's for purity? What you trying to say? Because you know how the patriarchal, there is a lot of push towards purity culture. I feel like purity culture also, especially for women, like there's some people who are still, and we'll like I said, as we go through Women's Month, we're going to get through it. But there are some women who, in my opinion, like they're still very close to this. And to me, what purity means to me, I'll go like that. I was like, what purity means to me is just truly keeping a fresh mind. Like, yes, being pure, for your, and is there, but truly just refreshing and renewing your mind. I feel like it's been twisted, as most things are with women. I need y'all to know, especially further on, like as we go through the series through this month, is that we are special. Okay, we are literally special. And just knowing that there's so much things that there's so many things that we fight back on and we're still able to persevere has always been in awe. Like there's so many women that I'm just like, oh wow, like I sense the purity from them. It's also for equality. And that part, I can definitely say, I don't know if it'll ever be equal because I have 20 years of period pain. I don't know. It's not equal. So the next color is purple. So purple is, this means dignity. Purple has always given me royalty vibes. Whenever I think of purple, I think of royalty. I think of majesty, whatever, but just dignity. I feel like one of the things that, especially as a woman myself, one thing I can say about dignity has always been just that level of like that little like, I'm a lady. There's so many times that I've sat there and I was like, I am a lady. So that level of dignity. And something when it comes to dignity to me is, back in the day, it used to be like, I'm gonna fight for your honor. So I would say, like, to me, it's like, To me, dignity is definitely very important for me as a woman. It's just that I want to be able to leave with my dignity intact, as they love to say. And I've always thought of the first thing, especially with there are a lot of, how to describe it, I don't want to say this word, but a lot of revenge corn out there, basically when somebody dates you and certain images that you sent them at their request, they are now saying that you were the instigator. So I can definitely say that too, like with that level of dignity, like you're taking that away from them. That's definitely an example that I've seen, that dignity has been taken away. Like, this is still somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's mother. So when you sit there and say, oh, what does dignity mean to you for women's month, I think of like our ability to still be perceived as a human being. That is the main thing. There are so many times that they especially with women, they like to make it seem like we are just these animals. We're just these objects and definitely accessories. So the last color is going to be green. So this color, green, is for hope. And my thing is, when I think of green, I think of money. So are you trying to say money is for hope? When I think of hope, I think of like a baby blue. Like, like when you look up into the sky, like when you look up into the sky, it's like, I see hope over there. I do, like it's one of, that's how I at least perceive hope. I perceive hope as like this thing of like, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get through hope, and we're gonna do this and other. But that, at least that's how I perceive it. But definitely, definitely for sure, like that's at least how I perceive hope. And the green, they say green, maybe the grass is greener. I'm trying to think like the grass. I'm trying to do something. Okay. The only reason why I think they chose green, I can say, is that it matches the color scheme. Because this purple, white, because it's like a royal purple, it's not a lilac. This purple, white, and light blue would look crazy. So I'm assuming there's like, okay, let's put green, like kind of mix it up a little bit. But yeah, definitely for sure. I'm definitely excited for knowing the colors. I had no idea there was colors before. So I'm going to have you memorize this. So when we do Women's Month next year, that I don't have to go through this whole thing because you know exactly, but I'll definitely run through the colors for a review. But I need for you to be taking notes because this is Women's Month. We got this. Green as well, like with hope, is the fact that there's been plenty of times where, especially in a patriarchal society, when it's not a feminist congregation, stay with me now. Just in this patriarchal society, there's been plenty of times where I felt hopeless because I don't know how I'm supposed to be a woman and still be able to do everything everybody else is supposed to do. There's so many times where like for example, yesterday, I was so tired. I'm fighting just to brush my teeth. I'm so tired. I mean, I'm so tired, and I just felt like in that aspect. So my thing is, I'm going to introduce you guys to my series. So in my series, I have a couple of different topics. I literally, like if you're religious or not, there's a couple of different topics that I didn't want to speak on. I didn't want to speak on, but I felt it inclined. I have to speak on this because I think, besides the age wars of who looks young for Gen Z, who looks old for millennials, vice versa, I feel like at its base, we're losing the plot. Okay, we're supposed to get the information. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, I heard a rumor. You feel me? And then we go and tell the next generation so they cannot make the same thing. We're turning it into a competition, and that's why I made this series, because I thought we're turning a competition by not speaking on the fact that we're not speaking on the fact of what is taking place. There's so many issues that I've seen. Of course, people make up stories or vice versa for content, but there's so many things that can be avoided if a more seasoned woman would have said, hey, don't look for this sign. Hey, don't do this. There's so many things that could have been avoided, but we're too busy competing on who looks young or who's aging the best. I want any information I know, like I'm already doing it with my nieces and nephews, but any information I know, I'm letting them know off rip. Any information, it's like I'm downloading all my information to their head. Like, there's no competition because I've already lived my life, and as well as the fact that I don't want them to make even a inkling of the mistakes I've made, not even a percentage. Now, mind you, they're allowed to, explore and make their own mistakes, blah, blah, but I don't want them to make any of the same mistakes I made, especially when I have the code. Like I have I feel like it's like having the answers at the back of the book for a crossword puzzle. I have the answers. Why are we not telling them about it? Okay. Anyway, so some of the topics I have. So this week's topic, and we're wearing the same outfit, so get used to it. This week's topics, we're going to be talking about the role of the matriarch. And the role of the matriarch, spirit of dissension, basically the spirit of dissension is what happens when you make yourself an idol within the family, to where you yourself start breaking up the family because you need them to not worship God, and you need them to worship you. So I have that one. I'm gonna get a lot of pushback from that one. I have real relationship talk and real friendship talk. Like those ones, I'm probably gonna have to film a couple of times to not get emotional, because not for what you think, it's just that I really have a good set of friends. I really have a good set of friends, and there was so much heartache I had to go through to get there. I had to go through a lot of heartache to get to that level, and it was avoidable. So it was avoidable, just, battling those mother and father wounds that your friends have, battling that, relationships as well, being able to tell if somebody likes you or not, especially with me, as a woman, we do have our ego about us. You said, okay, and I'm not too hard to look at, right? And so we have this ego about, it's like, well, how could they do it to me? I'm good looking, They're going to do it worse because now they're mad that you're good looking too, But there's been plenty of times where I was with someone who clearly did not like me, and I'm just like, that's just how they are. Y'all reaching. They did not like me a day in their life. Like not even enough. If they saw me on the side of the street, would they pick me up to take me to the gas station, to the bus station, I mean. We're also going to be talking about hygiene. I feel like a lot of times on social media, we have this tendency to have the hygiene Olympics of like, I take 3 showers a day. Oh, I do this, I do that. I was like, listen, at the end of the day, just wash, all right? just make sure you wash, all right? Just make sure you wash, hygienic or not. My thing is that with the hygiene Olympics, some people, one thing I need to understand, and this is a word, write it down. Some people just witness their kids' life. They do not raise them. Let me say that again. They witness their kid's life. They're just there watching their kid growing up. They're not helping them with anything. That's called when you're witnessing. How many times people put your hands up? Put your hands up where you were supposed to know a skill, but your parents never taught it to you. So you had to have your friend. Look, I wish I could put all my hands up. I could put all my hands up. But there's something so crazy. There's something so crazy about the fact that we have a tendency to blame the survivor. At the end of the day, if you had a parent and they did not teach you certain aspects, you are a survivor. Because as a kid, you are, as a child, you're a child. As a parent, you are a teacher first. You're a teacher first. Sometimes you living as you live, you're a teacher first. There's been plenty of times where I've seen just like I love adjusting fellow queens' crowns, regardless of racial demographic. There's been plenty of times where I was just like, oh, you didn't know that you have to use this to do this? Oh, this is how you can get your lips soft. This is how you can get this moisturized. This is how you can get that, da-da-da. You know where I'm coming from? Like, there's been plenty of times I was just like, oh, so no one just ever taught you that if you do this, this is how you can get this done. Or this is how you alleviate your pH balance. Oh, don't eat that. Do this. Go to sleep. Do that. Like, there's been so many things that I've been taught as well, that I've taught as well, that they honestly, they have no idea. They have no idea. Even something similar, even something as like, one of the reasons why I created this channel is because people don't teach. I feel like every Black woman specifically should know how to at least wash their hair. At least wash it. Like, I'm not saying like styling this is advanced. Okay, you don't gotta be able to do this, but I do have tutorials. But you don't have to be able to do this, but like, just be at least able to wash their hair. We have a problem. That is your hair. Because if somebody sat there and said, oh, I don't know how to take a bath, we would be running to help that person. But when somebody sits there and says, oh, I don't know how to do my hair, we're like, oh, girls, go watch YouTube, bye. Anyways, what y'all want to eat for lunch? You know what I'm coming from? Like, you need to be able to have that helping spirit to know that you don't know when somebody's going to know something you don't know. Always be a humble spirit. Always be a humble, not humble, but always just be a really good student, and you will definitely do well. But And I also have Girl Code as a final topic as well. That's going to be a whole week of things, just breaking down the topics I want to speak on. With Girl Code as well, that one, I feel like it's changed throughout as we gotten older, because my Girl Code and the new generation Girl Code are two different things. Because my Girl Code is that if somebody don't have it, we don't go and make a story time on internet about it. Like we just, I'll handle you. You got me next time. Like it was kind of like that part threw me. I can say that part threw me. I can definitely say that part threw me off. But thank you guys so much for your support in advance. Happy National Women's Month. You guys are all amazing. Don't forget to subscribe, share. It's fair.